Akanksha has completed 30 years in the education sector. For the last 5 to 6 years, a few of our schools have been experimenting using technology in teaching and learning. With this pace, it would have taken us another 5 to 6 years to integrate technology in all our schools. But this pandemic in the month of March 2020 and the sudden closure of all our schools pushed us to reorganize our effort towards training the entire network to teach and learn virtually. This is our story of how we weaved a plan to make Akanksha fully digital. Let's begin the story. It was March. Schools were in their last lap of 2019-20 academic year and students were looking forward for their much needed summer vacation. Suddenly, there was news around the increasing cases of COVID in India and a probable lockdown. Uncertainty started floating in the air. Soon we realized it was not an epidemic but a pandemic, and challenges were threefold. The first, socio-emotional mindset of people and safety of our children. Second, financial crisis. And the third, our learning of our students. One day, our CEO Saurav called for an emergency meeting and we set a task force to plan and put a robust plan for virtual learning at Akanksha. We were very new to this arena and had no idea on how to go about training a network of 21 schools. And thus, we started our work on three things: research on how other countries who have faced these challenges before us have managed education during any natural calamity or pandemic, connecting with various organizations to understand how they are planning forward, and third, research on various virtual platforms to suit our needs in teaching and learning. We started the virtual learning with 10 standard for two reasons: urgent need as they are going to appear for board exam, and second, to understand how to take this learning forward with the entire network. So it was like a pilot project for us to develop our understanding about virtual learning. Let's hear from Sanjana, who is a pioneer in virtual learning at Akanksha, asynchronous and synchronous mode. Over to you, Sanjana.
Hello, this is Sanjana. I teach at one of the Akanksha schools. Venturing into online teaching was quite challenging. We as teachers were not experienced with conducting Zoom classes. So we piloted some virtual classes on Zoom with the help of the tech specialists. We experimented a lot with the different apps and strategies to make the virtual classes effective before introducing it on the organization level. Another struggle was onboarding the students on the learning management systems. We conducted various training sessions for the students and also had one-to-one calls with them to guide them on how to use those apps. Once the students were onboarded, keeping them engaged throughout the class was another task. So we explored a lot of games and activities which would keep the students engaged throughout the class, and that's how we started our virtual teaching.
It was in the month of July. The network was getting comfortable with virtual learning and the lockdown was lifted. As multiple parents started going to their work, our students had no devices to continue learning. Schools customized their schedule to continue the learning for our students. While there was so much of uncertainty with finances around, Akanksha took a brave decision to acquire 1500 tablets for grade 7th to 10th students. We are grateful to our very generous supporter across the globe who came forward to donate for digital tablets for our students. With new devices coming in, we had responsibility of getting our teachers and students comfortable with it. And in no time, they were all equipped with the skills of teaching and learning using these devices. By October, the entire network was comfortable with virtual learning scenario. They also had a good grip over the technical knowledge of using different applications in their classrooms. To get a gist of where the network is with regards to teaching and learning, we decided to do a few classroom observations and realized that there is a lot of potential in our educator to learn and grow in this virtual space. We decided on two things after our classroom observation: to get the entire network aligned on how teaching and learning should look like in virtual phase. So we created a basic element document which tells about some non-negotiable for teaching and learning in both synchronous and asynchronous classes. Second, how can technology be used effectively to develop the 21st century skills in our classes? A ray of hope came to our life when Maharashtra government decided to reopen schools with a few grades. But this happiness was short-lived when Maharashtra was hit with the second wave and schools were faced with a dilemma of whether to continue the learning in the physical phase, keeping in mind the safety of all our stakeholders involved. On the other hand, our digital innovators kept citing great technology used to develop communication, collaboration, critical thinking. As a result, we came up with this strategy document with 20 powerful practices from our teachers. The academic year came to an end. Our digital innovators had put in tremendous effort in their teaching so that learning continues for Akanksha students. This called for a celebration. Let's hear from Shruti, who is teaching in one of the Akanksha schools. She has been doing multiple strategies using technology in her classes. Over to you, Shruti.
Hi everyone, I'm here to share some strategies that we've used in virtual teaching and learning. I've seen great impact of using GIFs while sharing the class invite. I think this just creates the buzz around what the objective of the class is and helps the students stay on throughout the class. Second, using on making creative and personalized slides helps to create connection, also maintain a flow throughout the class as students then get used to what is going to come up next. Third, we've used Jamboard in real time where I've seen students discuss with each other, talk to each other, and solve some sums. Fourth, and the most important, is using games in your class on this virtual platform, as these games are something the students are used to throughout the time and they play well. So, games on quizzes or word wall and Kahoot generate curiosity and also help students go back and forth on a concept that they have learned and to attain that number one position. Finally, using Padlet to solve different levels of questions has helped students gain confidence and have helped them peer learn from each other as they real time see what their friends are doing. So, yeah, thank you.
But looks like Corona is adamant, and so are we. It might prolong its stay, bringing uncertainty again. But this time, we are prepared to take the learning to the next level because at Akanksha, learning never stops for our teachers and for our students. Thank you.